Show, we're going to talk about the Steelers versus the Arizona Cardinals. We're going to get right into that, guys. But welcome to the show, man. I see quite a few of you guys are already in the queue, already here. Great. So I'm going to definitely do what we normally do, and I'm going to shout out some of the first arrival viewers. But what's up, everybody? The Steelers are 8-5. Wasn't the prettiest game, but they got it done. And I'm going to be honest with you. I didn't know if we would get it done. You know, I kind of had a suspicion that the Cardinals offense would give us a little bit of problem. And they did at times. But the defense came up big and very, very big. So I'm definitely happy about that. But before I get into the show, let me just let you guys, give you a preference of what's going on here. I'm a little bit later tonight. I apologize for that, guys. My wife, went out to dinner with her niece. And, her sister, what have you. So she's not here. So I got my little 6-year-old here with me. He's right above my head in the living room, watching his favorite show. So, I've set him up nicely. So, guys, you're going to have to excuse me if I have to turn away for a moment or if you hear some noise or what have you. Again, family first. So I just want to give you guys that preference. But hopefully, we'll be able to get through the show as normal. So let's get into it. So before we get started fully, let me go back and thank the first people that came to the show. We'll do a few quick shout outs. Rodolfo Negron, Todd Christian, Steve Sims, Devil, Big Marv 34, Mike Cox, Drama Sadell, Unwise Mac, Tony Grant, Brent Fine, Jay Will, Victor Johnson, Vista Light, Mariano Papa, what's up, man? Haven't seen you in a while. In the Green TV, Builder's Life, and we'll end it with BJ and Luis D. There you have it, guys. So let's get right into it. And also, guys, let me let you know as well, I'm doing something else. I don't want to say it has something to do with a Christmas gift, so I don't really want to say what it is, but I'm texting someone, getting some information. So, guys, again, life happens. So if you see me look down from time to time, let me know. Yeah. Let's get into it. 1 second, guys. All right. So first and foremost, before we start patting ourselves on the back, let's address the elephant in the room, shall we? There's a few elephants in the room, actually. And we're going to start with that. Before I start talking about the victory and the good things, we always got to go to the negative. We have to go to the negative. Hear me and hear me good. I'm going to address the elephants in the room. And then I also will explain my feeling completely about one elephant. First elephant. Later on in the game, I have it documented here. It was less than 2 minutes left on the clock. The Cardinals had one timeout. And the Pittsburgh Steelers and Duck Hodges, so I don't know who was the culprit. Was it Randy Fichtner? Or was it all Mike Tomlin or what have you, whoever's involved? We decided to throw the ball on second down, stopping the clock. Why we would do that, I have no idea. Okay, did it come back to haunt us? No. But what do we always talk about in terms of the Tomlin era? One of the biggest issues that I have with Tomlin, even though I do like Mike Tomlin, as a side, let's get that out there. I like Mike Tomlin. I like Mike Tomlin as the Steelers head coach. I do. Some of you don't. I like him. However, I am going to criticize Tomlin when he needs to be criticized. I have always, and I religiously say, Mike Tomlin's time management has been one of his biggest issues. We all know this. There was another situation there again. I know I give a lot of credit and blame towards the coordinators, but as Tomlin has alluded to us in the past, he hears everything that's going on. So when you let something slide, even though you say your philosophy is you allow your coaches to be men and to coach, I respect that. But at the same time, sometimes the head man got to step in, right? Why would you throw the ball there? You essentially left 1 minute and 45 seconds left on the clock. Because you allowed the Cardinals to then use their timeout after we didn't convert a 3rd and long. Stupid. Now let's get to the biggest elephant in the room. The fake punt. Wow. All right. Let me preface it by saying this. For you guys who may or may not have listened to Tomlin's, presser, I only listened to that second question when they asked him about the fake. I only listened to that. I haven't listened to the whole thing. I got to go back and listen to it. But I'm going to give you my feelings about it, and I'm going to explain what Tomlin said. And I hope you guys understand where I'm coming from. Let me say this again. I'm going to say this a million times so you guys understand my point. I am a fan of Mike Tomlin. I think Mike Tomlin has done a wonderful job as the Steelers head coach. Mike Tomlin has his woes. Yes, he does. A lot of those woes has come against the New England Patriots. No, we don't have a great record against them. Yes, a lot of times when we faced the New England Patriots, we got exposed. We got to point at the head man for that, as well as the defensive man. However, I still like Mike Tomlin as a coach. I will take this guy any day as a coach. Now, here comes the negative. I have to criticize him wholeheartedly for that fake punt. If, in fact, Mike Tomlin did call it, what he said in the presser, he said that was on me. And he proceeded to explain why he did it. Now, there's two sides of the coin. I'm watching the game like I always do with my father-in-law, Leonard. Leonard is ticked off. So am I. I couldn't find any reason, period, any reason whatsoever why you run a fake punt in that situation. Up 10. 4th and 6, I believe it was. I couldn't find any reason. I mean, not one logical reason why I could say I wouldn't have done it, but I see why. No, I couldn't find a reason, guys. At that point in the game, with a 10-point lead, defense has been playing well on your side of the field. Okay? We also had my brother-in-law, Trent, was there. And he said, you know what? I don't think that was Mike Tomlin's call. I think he's covering for somebody. Now, that's an interesting point. Maybe he is. Some of you guys who watch Tomlin's pressers all the time, you could tell when he's kind of covering for someone, where he just owns it as the head man, where we know it might not have necessarily been his call. I don't know what the truth is. But what I'm going to say is if Mike Tomlin decided to fake punt at that moment, that is the worst call I think I have witnessed as Mike Tomlin being the coach of the Pittsburgh Steelers. I can't think of a worse one. That's worse than the challenges, in my opinion. That was horrendous. Horrendous. There's no explanation. Now let me explain to you what he said. This is what I tried to tell Leonard. And when I was trying to tell Leonard this, Leonard jumps all over me. Oh, that's your guy. You're defending him. I was like, how am I defending him? I'm explaining to you what he just said in the presser. I disagree with the call. So let me make sure all of y'all hear me. And I'm going to pause for a moment to make sure y'all know that. I think that was the worst Tomlin call I've ever seen. But what he said was, we have favorable numbers. We had X amount of people in the box. There was an uncovered gunner. They had 2 men deep. We thought we could catch him. We didn't. I own it. I don't agree with the call. But let me tell y'all something. Us real Steeler fans, can y'all recall the times when we do fake punts? When they've been successful? It's usually when we get that look, right? Again, I'm not agreeing with the call. I'm merely saying that his explanation, I can kind of go with his explanation because he's right. Remember the game? I think it might have been last year or the year before. Me and Leonard was actually at this game. When we ran the fake punt against the Cincinnati Bengals, when we were playing at home, it was the same situation. It was the same situation. So all I'm saying is, though I don't agree with the call, I don't agree with the call at all. If he really felt like that was the reason why he called it, then it is what it is. He had an explanation for it. I do not agree. I do not agree. And Kenya just texted me just so you guys know, what kind of conversations we have as well. He said, I don't know. I think the one in New Orleans was worse. They were all bad. But the only reason why this one sticks out to me right now, and of course, I'm speaking out of emotion. Got to go back and look at, other games. The reason why this one was worse to me was the fact that you got a 10-point lead and you up You up. It's the fourth quarter. You're on your side of the field. You're up by 10. We have had, at this point, done a great job against the Cardinals offense. You're on about your 40. You're going to get great field position. Jordan Berry had been booting that thing all game. Absolutely worst time to run a fake. Period. So that's why I said my knee-jerk reaction is that's the worst Tomlin call I've ever seen. But that's proof to you guys again. Me and Kenyon both have said, nah, man, we like Tomlin as a coach, and here we are both talking about times where he was at his worst. It happens. All NFL coaches do stupid stuff. But it doesn't mean that I can't still say I like this guy as a coach. He made a mistake. A horrible one. But it's funny because without even looking in the chat, and we'll probably get some phone calls tonight, I guarantee you there's people right now saying fire Tomlin. I guarantee you. I don't even have to look. And then, listen, if you don't like the coach, that's great. All I'm saying is, if you're going to use that to say fire the guy, then, okay, that's your opinion. But again, guys, those are the elephants in the room. That clock management, on second down, and there's under 2 minutes left, and you pass, that's unexcusable. And that fake punt in that particular moment is inexcusable. Cannot do that. You just can't do that. I don't even know what else to say. That was ridiculous. Ridiculous. But all right, man, let's get into some other stuff, man. Let's talk about the game here. As far as the football game, you guys know I like to always do the first series of defense and offense. So we'll start with defense. Steelers were able to force a punt. Both Barron and Bud Dupree both got TFLs, tackles for loss, back-to-back. We forced a 3rd and 17. We were able to get off the field. So great job by the defense on the first possession. First offensive drive started off kind of nice, but then Duck gets sacked, and we're forced into a 3rd and 13, right? The Steelers get bailed out with an unnecessary roughness call on Jordan Hicks, and then the Steelers come away with a field goal. So that particular drive was kind of like 50-50. You started off decent, running the ball pretty decent. Then you give up the sack. Matt Fowler gives up the sack. The next thing you know, we get bailed out with an unnecessary roughness, so we got bailed out there, okay? So let's go into some other things. I already talked about the coaching mistakes, so we can move on. We were huge tonight on 3rd down. Huge. I didn't look at the full stats, but I think at one time Kenyon texted me and he said we were 8 for 8. And that's amazing. Wow. Okay, Duck Hodges, I see you. Duck Hodges is becoming a real decent game manager. I still don't think Duck is all that, but he's able to manage the game. And at this point, Duck is managing the game better than Mason Rudolph was able to do. That I think we all can agree with. It's not the savior, but Duck has 3 wins now, and he's been managing the game. And the boy made some plays when he needed to make some plays, especially late. Getting outside of the pocket, scrambling for the first down. Again, getting outside the pocket, finding Deontay Johnson. Beautiful stuff. But Duck did a great job of managing the game, and I think if we have any chance to win any more football games, it will be with this guy behind center. I don't think there's a question whether or not Mason Rudolph gets back in the game this particular year, barring injury. So after that, what else do I got here? Here's another thing. I don't know if you guys noticed this. Tomlin appeared to be calling the defense tonight. Now, this has been a age-old debate, amongst a lot of us here on the show. As a lot of people think that Tomlin has taken over the defense, well before tonight. And some of us would say, no, we don't think so, because we've never seen him with a play call sheet. Well, guess what, folks? Did y'all see it tonight? Even after Bud Dupree's sack, I believe his first sack. Right before his sack. If you were watching the game, they panned to Tomlin. Tomlin had a little call sheet about this big, little pamphlet, probably not even this big, right? You see him look at it. You see him, mouth something into the headset. And you saw it later on in the game again when they showed Tomlin clearly had a defensive play call sheet in his hand. Small one, but it was something there. You normally don't see that from Mike Tomlin. At least I'm not used to seeing that. So if I'm wrong, you guys can tell me otherwise. But I can almost guarantee that we don't see that on a week-to-week basis where he has that call sheet when they show Mike Tomlin. Today, it was very visible. Now, let's reflect back to what Joe Hayden said last week. They said Mike Tomlin stripped it down, took it back. It was almost like we was in high school on the sideline where he's drawing up stuff right then, and Joe Hayden verbatim says he saved the game with the way he called us. That's something to keep an eye on. And the reason why I say that, if Tomlin is putting his hand more so into the pot, and I appreciate Rod Duran right there, appreciate that subscription. Thank you very much, buddy. If Mike Tomlin is now running the defense, this definitely could mean we're coming very close to the end of Keith Butler, and maybe Keith Butler will be, just designated as just being the linebacker coach like he once was. We shall see. Now, here's some other things. Bud Dupree gets a sack on 3rd and 4 to end the drive. And this might be the same sack I'm talking about, but I think this was later in the game. I told you guys, the way I take my notes are a little quirky. You just kind of follow my sequences here. Let me see. I want to talk about a couple other things before I get into one of the biggest reasons why we won this game, and you should have already guessed it. His thumbnail is on this video. Benny Snell fumbles the football, man. Listen, guys fumble. I understand that, but that was a costly one because the Cardinals were able to get a field goal. Now, luckily enough, the defense, got tight. They got stern, and we only gave up a field goal. But come on, Benny Snell. Come on, man. You fumbled the ball a couple times now. I hope this is not going to be a recurring theme because I like Benny Snell. And listen, again, I'm not ready to throw the guy in the trash. Some of you fans get beside yourselves while you're watching these games. Okay? It doesn't mean this dude is a trash or he's a fumble machine. It happens. It happens. He's going to have to tighten that up. You know who else has fumbled the ball quite often? James Conner. So I'm just saying, these guys have to work on ball security. Okay, I need them to be Le'Veon Bell-like with ball security, even though Bell fumbled a couple times, but that was throughout his whole duration with us, not within a season. That's the difference. I need them to be more Le'Veon Bell-like in terms of ball security. But the defense was able to hold to a field goal, so that was great. Now, here's another one. There was a 3rd and 7 at one point in the game, and Duck threw it. Duck threw it to Vance McDonald in the flat, short of the sticks. Come on, Duck. And if you go back and look at that play, and I can't wait to see it on the All-22 because, of course, it looked open to me on the TV view, James Washington came open across the middle. So Duck was a little impatient, in my opinion, on that particular series. He kind of got rid of the ball kind of fast. It didn't look like he had pressure in his face. Again, it's knee-jerk reaction. When I go back and look at the play, because I got it circled, I'm going to make sure I look at that. But I think he had an opportunity to hit James Washington, but also I didn't like him throwing it short of the sticks to Vance McDonald in that situation in the flat. I mean, anything could happen, but I feel like, I never like when quarterbacks go short of the sticks unless you're getting it to a playmaker. Unless you're hitting a playmaker that can make a guy miss, a real playmaker, or pressure's in your face and you got to get rid of it, then there's an excuse. But if you got a clean pocket, I don't like seeing you throw it short of the sticks. Of course, if that's the only thing open, I get it. But like I said, guys, from the TV angle, I went back and watched the play a couple times. James Washington came open across the middle. So we got to be a little more patient there. Now, here's another sequence I'll read to you guys here. Cardinals put together a long drive before the half, and they scored. And I said, I don't like man coverage when we're that close to the end zone. It makes natural picks happen too easy. I even text this to Kenya. You guys have heard me say this quite often, especially when we do the film study. Listen, I'm not an NFL coach, okay? And I'm not going to sit here and say zone works all the time or man works all the time. It's always a chess match, okay? It's a chess match. It's matchups. It's pressure. All of these different things is what determines what happens during any given play. So there's no right or wrong answer. You can't say you should run zone all the time here. You should run man all the time there. No. But if I was a coach, my philosophy is when we get to a certain point, especially within 10 yards of the end zone, I don't prefer man. I prefer a condensed zone and keep things in front of you and play a real tight zone. Reason being, it allows less opportunity for natural picks. So the touchdown to Charles Clay, go back and look at the play. Joe Hayden got rubbed off. Joe Hayden was chasing him, but there was a lot of traffic coming the other way, and it left Charles Clay wide open for the touchdown. Okay? I just don't like those situations. And we'll show that on Tuesday. Remind me, but I know I'm going to show it anyway. I usually always show touchdowns. I'll show you what I'm talking about. Joe Hayden got rubbed off. It is what it is. That's just my philosophy. I don't like using man in those situations unless you're going to go press. Unless you're going to plaster your guy and you're going to press him and try to disrupt the timing. Other than that, I don't like it. I prefer some type of zone, or maybe more importantly, like a match coverage. You know what I mean? Where you're passing guys off. Things like that. But, when the DBs are able to check and say, oh, if he goes here, I'm going to pass him to you, you pick him, et cetera, et cetera. Because some teams do it like that, and that's how they defend, those type of bunch sets. Or when you get, traffic in the middle and rub routes and all that, there's ways to defend them. And there's no perfect defense for a perfectly drawn up play and perfectly executed play. But I'm just saying, to give yourself the best chance, I wouldn't run man in that situation. That's just me. All right, moving on. So right after that, I said, Duck puts together a nice drive. Right after that, almost fumbled the ball away. When Chandler Jones got a strip on him again, Matt Fowler got beat on that play. But what did we talk about on Tuesday? We had to watch Chandler Jones because Jones, they said, is leading the sacks in the NFL. So they're able to get to the quarterback even though their record sucks. But Fowler gets beat, and he was able to get back on the ball, so great. Saved us a turnover there. Now moving on to the second half. Steelers go 3 and out. Then Cam Kelly misses a tackle on the Cardinals' fake punt. Metakevich was kind of had a shot at it as well, but I think Cam Kelly had a better shot. But they're able to convert, and this is the thing. I know some people would probably say you got to be looking for that, which I would agree. It's a 3-8-1 team, but who would expect a fake punt on like 4th and 9? I wouldn't have expected that either. We got caught. We could have tackled it. We didn't. It is what it is. Moving on. Right after that, Joe Hayden gets a pick. And then Deontay Johnson makes 2 big plays, including a touchdown on that particular series. He had the little reverse. And then also, touchdown throw to Deontay Johnson. Deontay Johnson balled out. And let's pause right there because I was going to save it until later. Deontay Johnson had a ball game, man. Guys, we returned a punt for a touchdown. I got to throw a round of applause for that. Guys, when is the last time our Steelers have returned a kick and or punt for a touchdown? The last time I remember returning a kick was Juju Smith-Schuster a few years ago against Cleveland, last game of the season. But a punt return? It hasn't happened since Antonio Brown. What have I been saying about Deontay Johnson? I told you guys this guy could be our Antonio Brown. No, he doesn't play like Antonio. He does have some movements and some similarities to Antonio Brown as far as his route running. But he just has that knack. Kenyon mentioned to me before that he kind of reminds him of Emmanuel Sanders. And then today he said, you know what? No, I think he's more like Santonio Holmes. I could probably agree with that. He's probably more of a Santonio Holmes than he is an Antonio Brown. But he does have some Antonio Brown elements that I like. But all in all I'm saying is we lost AB, but I think Deontay Johnson can be that for us. He can fill that void, that type of player, and he's showing his worth. He's getting better and better in the pass game and getting open, making things happen after the catch, which is what he was so good at in college, and then returning that punt. That was all him. Outstanding job, outstanding game by Deontay Johnson. What a great game by Deontay Johnson. And also, let's throw James Washington in there, man. He made a couple plays tonight. He didn't have as many touches, but, you can see that connection happening between him and Duck, particularly on slant routes. Made a couple plays. Deion Kane, once again, made a big play. This guy is another guy that I said, look, man, we might want to sign this dude to a futures contract, him and Kareth White. We need to give Kareth White the ball more. Not only does he have speed, One of those first runs that he had, you know, he got a little shiftiness with him. He got some vision. I like that pop that he shows. So we might not necessarily have to go running back as early as we thought, you know. Excuse me. I don't think he's an every down back. He might be, but I don't think so. But we still need to keep our eye on Connor, man. We still might need an every down back, so we might still go in the draft and get one. But I want to keep Karif White on the team. You know, I think we may have found a return guy, even though he didn't have a great opportunity today. But I think he can be your return guy, and he can be that second or third element of surprise or, you know, the speed change up in the backfield. I like this kid. All right, so then after that, I also said there was a big-time throw by Duck on that touchdown. I mean, that was an amazing throw by Duck Hodges, period. I don't have much more to say about it. That was an outstanding throw where he placed that ball. Beautiful. Beautiful. Outstanding. Okay, so then I said Duck also dropped the ball on that play. That's the crazy thing about it. Dropped the ball, picked it up, composed itself, and still able to make a throw like that. Outstanding. Outstanding. And, you know, we took a lot of time off the clock in that particular moment. All right, and then the last thing I'll say here, guys, TJ Watt comes up with a pick. What? TJ Watt on 4th and 2. But here's the funny thing. If I was an Arizona fan, why didn't Kyler Murray run? He had 2 yards easy, and he might be able to score. Why did he force it in there? I understand your mentality at that point. You're down 10. I get it. Let's try to get the touchdown, because some would say they should have kicked the field goal there, which, you know, I may have did the conservative approach. We need a field goal and a touchdown anyway. But whatever his name, what is it, Kingsbury? I think that's how you say his name. He got aggressive there, and they said, "Look, let's go for the points, the big points, not the field goal." But you can't, Murray. You can live another down. You get those 2 yards. You putting the Steelers under pressure. You get 4 more opportunities, or at the very least 3 more opportunities to get in the end zone. Why didn't he run? But I'm glad he didn't. And our boy TJ Watt comes up with an interception. Not only is this dude putting on pressure and getting sacks, the boy got an interception. The boy might be in the running. Not even might be. He's definitely in the running. But he might end up winning Defensive Player of the Year. TJ Watt is a beast. And again, for those of us, you know, Steeler fans who try to say, "Oh, the Steelers, they don't never draft. They're a great play." Listen, TJ Watt was a huge hit. You hear me? A hit as far as pass rusher. TJ Watt was a success. This dude is a dog. That magical third season that the Steelers always say, that's when we want to see our guys be what they really can be. And this dude is beyond that. He has elevated his game every single season. He is a problem. Love TJ Watt. And what else I got here? On the next play, hold on. What I got? Yeah. Let me read that whole sequence, and then I'll get to some of the calls. I said TJ Watt came up with a big interception, 4th and 2. Murray, you know, should have ran for it. I said the Steelers attempt a fake punt. Again, I don't know why we did that. And Barry gets leveled, gets his bell rocked on that play. Then the Cardinals are able to score on the next play. Edmonds had an opportunity to pick it off, and, you know, he showed us once again why we say he's not a ball hawk. Jumped a little bit early. He was in position, so I'm not going to blame him, but he jumped a tad bit early, and they're able to get the touchdown to David Johnson. And there you have it. And it put us in cardiac moments. You know, now we're scared about what's going to happen in the rest of the game. Excuse me one quick second as I take a drink of water. And once again, man, Steelers defense comes up big and bails us out. Plain and simple. Plain and simple. Joe Hayden with an outstanding game he had. 2 interceptions, right? And look at all these turnovers, man. The Steelers, it looks like we're probably going to end the season as the leading, you know, turnover machine team. Because I think we still probably in number one. We were in number 1, I believe, coming into this game, and I'm sure we're still there after today. Outstanding, man. You know, I can't believe that we have this type of defense that we've been waiting to have for years. If we only could have had a glimpse of this when we had the Killer Bees. Wow. We just may have been able to get number 7. We may have. But there you have it. But anyway, guys, let's get into the calls, man. And guys, again, keep it quick for me. We're at 30 minutes. Wow, I did that perfect tonight. Like I said, man, I got my 6-year-old son upstairs. My wife is not home, so, I'm not going to sell you guys short, but I'm going to try to be a little bit short if I can for obvious reasons. Come on, man, family first. All right? So anyway, let's get into the calls, and let's keep them short. First up, we got area code 403. What you got for us tonight, man? 443, 443. 443, can you hear me? All right, I'm not able to hear him. Okay, guys, let me say this. I hope the queue is not messing up again. I hope it's not. So, 443, let me know if you're able to hear me. I'm going to go to the next person. And if the next person is unable to hear me, we're going to do it the bootleg way. Y'all know how we do the bootleg way, right? So let's see. Let's try 803.
Good evening. How you doing?
Good. Are you able to hear me, man?
Yeah, I can hear you loud and clear.
Okay, good.
All right, great. This game really scared me because this team only turned the ball over this year 9 times. And our defense came up tonight and turned them over 3 times. That was tremendous, and that was the big key to the victory. We had the fumbles, and then I saw some low snaps on the exchange between Duck Hodges and Pouncey. But those 3 turnovers against a team that had control of the ball and controlling at best Kyler Murray. But thank you so much. Great win.
No problem, 803. Thank you as well, man, for always coming through. It scared me a little bit too, man. Remember I was saying on Tuesday, it's the exact type of offense that I thought could give us some problems. And we buckled down, man, made some changes and got it together. Go Drip. Yeah, man. I couldn't hear you. So, I guess the queue was working because 803 could hear me. So, I don't know what happened there. But definitely if you call back, I'll try to get you. Let me just let everybody know, man. As of right now, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 calls in the queue. Follow your man's lead, 803. Keep them as short as possible, guys, so I can try to get y'all in. And I promise, I'm going to keep my responses short. Let's keep it moving. Area code 267. What you got for us, man?
Hey, Sim. I don't know if they had sorry about my son in the background, but I don't know if Mike addressed it in the press conference, but I know you guys are saying that was a really dumb call on the fake punt. I'm not sure that was actually a fake punt more than it was a read by Barry, because it didn't. If you watch the replay, it didn't look like I don't know. But no. Second to last drive at the goal line. Run, field goal in that situation. Throwing that ball on second down was the stupidest play of the year, in my opinion.
Yes.
Thanks, man.
Man, thank you as well. And I have to agree with you 100% on both things. Not only was that stupid, why would you pass in that situation? I mean, all of us should know that was stupid. Regardless of your football acclimate, that was dumb. Run the clock out as much as you can. But you made a good point, man. And again, shout out to my brother-in-law, Trent, man. He said the same thing. He didn't think that was an actual call. And if you listen to Tomlin's explanation, and again, guys, Tomlin is a class act in this regard. He's not going to throw anybody under the bus. So we might not ever know the truth. He always owns it. But listen to what he said. I told you got to listen to what Tomlin says. Even on his Tuesday conferences, read between the lines. He said we had a favorable look. Right? Talked about 6 men in the box, 2 men deep. There was a gunner wide open. What my man just said there could very well be true. Barry may have, again, remember, guys, when we fake punts, think about the more recent time we did it against Cincinnati a year or so ago. I was at that game. And Tomlin said they have that call built in. And usually the up back or somebody can check to it. So what my man just said there could very well be true. Either way, it was stupid. It was stupid on Tomlin's part if he called it. It was stupid on Danny Smith's part if he called it. As well as Jordan Berry. That ain't the right time to get cute. So whoever made that call, it was dumb. And yes, we definitely shouldn't pass with under 2 minutes left on the clock. And again, I'm a little long-winded. My fault, guys. Area 505. Keep it quick for us. What you got for us tonight?
Hey. Hello?
Yeah, I'm here.
Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Hello? All right, cool. Okay. All right, so I'm loving this defense, but I have one major concern if we make the playoffs.
Yeah.
Okay? For a push. Our offense cannot shut out the game.
Mm-hmm.
That's bugging me. Like for example, with the Colts. Our offense cannot shut down that one. We got lucky with the missed field goal. This game right here, we had a huge opportunity to just have the game decided with our offense. And, I don't like having our defense have to shut out the game for us every time, because eventually, against great teams, they will bite us in the butt for it.
Yep.
That's all I got.
Man, thank you for that call, and I'll be very short and brief. Leonard, does that sound familiar? Was I not just saying that today? Guys, let me just say this to Steeler Nation before we move on, because I was going to say it after the calls anyway. It's just fun watching our guys fight. We're not going nowhere this year. We're not winning a Super Bowl. I don't think we win much at all if we make the playoffs. Our offense is not strong enough. Even when we've put together offense like last week, it's like Hail Marys. It's like just taking shots and hoping. There's no identity or structure this year on offense. We're just getting by on the skin of our teeth. That's it. I don't see us think about it. I don't see us beating a real playoff team. I could be wrong, but I'm just being realistic. The offense scares me every single week because I don't know if we have enough offense to win. I don't know if we're going to have enough offense against the Bills because their defense is good, even though it looks like you can get some things off on them. I don't know if our offense is good enough to, get past the Jets because they have defense. They're just not a good team. And I definitely don't think we got enough offense in Week 17 against the Ravens. I'm just saying. 8-5. Don't be surprised, people, if we end up 8-8. I'm just saying. 9-7. But we still got work to do. And even if we get there, probably going home in the first round. I'm not being a pessimist. I'm just trying to be as realistic as I can based off the eye test. All right, let me move on, man. Area code 334. What you got for us?
What's up, Sim? It's been a long time, Sim.
What's going on, man?
How you doing, man?
Good, brother.
I got some good stuff for you tonight. I need you to let me step onto the floor and let me go ahead and speak my mind. It might take a second. I'm not able to get in on your show every week. You got to let me speak for a minute. You're going to love this.
Let's go.
You going to let me speak? All right. I sit and I be listening to you talk about Dodgers and how well he's not good enough. Don't you know this kid got a 117.2 quarterback rating right now as we speak? What are you looking for this kid to do? He's doing everything what it's asking him to do. Yes, we don't have an identity, but our defense is so great that it keeps us in the game. I can see us going to the next level because he don't make a mistake. He thinks before he throw the ball. You know what I'm saying? He can read coverage. And that call that you have a problem with when he throw it in the end zone for that touchdown, look at it. Go back and look at it. The cornerback was waiting for the slant. What he did, he faked inside and went back out to the flat. Touchdown. The boy got accurate.
Whoa. What play you talk about there? What touchdown?
I'm talking about the touchdown that Dante Johnson scored after whatever. I know it was the first half, I think, that he scored by the pylon, that touchdown pass that Dolphins threw over there.
Yeah, but when did I say that was bad? I said that was a perfect throw. I'm talking about when he threw it.
That was a risky off. You was It's like you were saying that.
Nah,
Right
nah, bro. I didn't say that at all. I think you missed it.
Was
Nah, I was talking.
okay.
I was talking about
take that back.
when he went to the flat to Vance McDonald on 3rd and 7. That's when I was saying he should have threw it to Washington.
Okay. Oh, okay. My mistake.
Oh no, you good.
Let's move on. I mean, I've been checking out your show and I heard a caller say something about that. I must be out of my mind about Duck Hodges, huh? Okay. Last week, fans came out. They went out and brought Duck Pelafamiglia, and they was all over the place. Even Jesus showed up at the football game. Jesus came out of heaven, sit down, and wanted to watch Duck Hodges. Okay? Now, I don't know what y'all crying about. I'm here to say this prediction. You might say I'm crazy again. You might say I'm crazy again. We are going to the Super Bowl. That's right. I said it. We are going to the Super Bowl. Get your tickets together. Get your tickets together. Get the steel table. Say, hey, man, you heard what that crazy fool said? Man, I'm going to get my tickets. If it came out of his mouth, he know what he's talking about. I ain't never been wrong on your show. And plus, get my boy back in town. Get AB back in the town, because I see the stars light up on the spot next year. Get the boy back in town.
This is where I gotta jump in. I gotta mute you there only because we gotta move on. I gave you some time, but I can't stay that long. And it's not a disrespect to you. It's just I gotta keep the show going. Wow, that's all I'm gonna say, bro. Wow, listen, if you predicted it and we get there, I will be the first one to give you full credit. Get AB back. I can't go on with that one. No way, no how. There is nothing that I want from Antonio Brown at this point, seeing that how he has conducted himself, not only in our building, in the Raiders building, in the Patriots building. No, thank you. So that's why I said I had to step in right there. It was a perfect segue. Gotta move on. But please call more, man. But I gotta be fair to the callers. I can't let one go longer than the other. But yeah. And it was a lot that you said that I wanted to comment on, but I'll move on because I don't want to hold it up. Let's go back. Let's go to the next caller, man. Area code 870. What you got for us?
Hey, what's going on, Sam? This is Trevor Jones. And I just wanted to say real quick, man, Big Al almost win a whole game and didn't get a penalty.
Yeah, he did. Almost, right?
But yeah, man, that's all I had to say, man. Good game, man. Steelers Nation, here we go.
My man, Tragino, I appreciate it, man. Real quick, I will comment back on with 334 because I wanted to say this about Duck. I'm not saying I don't believe in him, but come on, man. The stats and the eye test gotta account for something. 16 for 19, which is great. 152 yards and 1 touchdown. That ain't gonna be enough. We scored 23 points. Deontay Johnson scored 7 of those, well, 6 of those technically, on a kick return. And I understand that, yes, defense wins championships. But what happens when we start playing them real dogs out there that got offense and defense? That's all I'm saying. I love my Steelers. It would make me, nothing would make me happier than to be wrong and we get to the Super Bowl and win it and I can look back and be like, man, I never saw this coming. But as a fan and a quote-unquote journalist that provides content to you guys, I have to be realistic. I'm going to tell y'all my realistic point of view before anything else, not my Steeler fandom point of view, because that don't help any of us. Just saying. Next, area code 434. What you got for us?
What's going on, Sam? This your boy G.
What up, man?
Hey, look, don't you think it's time for us to go ahead and pay Bud Dupree that big contract?
Woo.
That's all I gotta say.
Gee, appreciate that. Man, Kenyon, react to that. I want to hear you react to that in the comments. But listen, I said it last week that he earned his name back. And I'm going to say this right now. Some of y'all going to be shocked. Dare I say, he might be stud Dupree right now. I said it. He might be stud right now. The boy balling, man. Now, he ain't been perfect. He hasn't been perfect. But this is all we've been asking for. Where's this guy been? And I'm not going to be the guy that's going to say, oh, it's a contract. Nah, man. I just think something has clicked for him. He's been the healthiest as he's ever been. I'm seeing a little more hand movement out of him, like more than what I've seen in the past. And so be it. Maybe it is because it's a contract. I don't know. But whatever it is, he looking like stud to me. And we need to bring him back because that combination of him and TJ Watt, I'm loving that. But it's going to be a high dollar, and we might have to lose some folk because our cap don't look great already going into next year. It's going to be interesting. But you can always find ways for it to work. You can massage cap. But we'll see. Next up, man, area code 814. What you got for us?
Hey, man, what's up? How you doing?
Good. How you doing, brother?
Hey, I thought that the screen pass, I thought that was kind of justified to be able to get the ball in one of your best players' hands at the moment. But, I mean, it would have been better to run the ball, obviously. I think that the defense, man, they are bearing down. They are making plays. I think that Hayden had a very smart play on that interception to be able to undercut the underneath route. I love the way the Duck's able to scramble.
Yeah.
Pick things up.
That's big.
And I think overall, I thought that Barry, aside from the fake punt, which I was losing my mind over, and every Steeler fan at the restaurant that I was at was doing the same. I thought that aside from that, I thought that he played a good game. I thought he was giving us the field position advantage. Yeah. Hashtag don't fire Tomlin. Peace out.
There it is. Yeah, man. Duck has done enough. You know, he's done just enough. And again, I'm not being critical on him. I'm just trying to be realistic, man. And I don't have these lofty expectations on him, but I definitely don't. It ain't just Duck. It's just the offense itself. We're not a consistently rushing offense where we can count on 100 yards a game collectively. And I'm looking at the statistics, man. Listen, the last 3 games against Cincinnati, he was 5 for 11, 118 yards. Against Cleveland, 14 for 21, 212 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. And I just said what he had today. It's not enough. And again, that's not just Duck. I'm just talking about offense. It's not enough. Take Deontay Johnson's punt out of that score. That's not beating the best teams, man. I'm just saying. That's not going to beat, you would think. And yes, our defense is playing great right now. But I'm not going to sit here and think that we're going to do that to every team we face. Talking about the Chiefs, the Patriots, the Texans, heck, the Bills, the Ravens. I don't think that's going to happen. So, we'll see. All right, man, I'm going to take 2 more calls. We're going to grab 830, and then after that, 931, and we'll be done for the night for calls. Area code 830, what do you got for us?
Hey, Tim, how's it going?
Good, how you doing?
Doing well. I was actually out at the game tonight.
Oh, great.
I was behind the end zone, got to see a lot of the scores. I was actually right there when Deontay Johnson ran it into the end zone on that punt return. I think, everything looked good as far as Doug goes. I think in the fourth quarter, towards the beginning of the fourth quarter, it looked like the offensive play calls were kind of handcuffing him a little bit. But I'll tell you what, I was the man again. I called in during that time and you weren't able to answer it up. Well, anyway, I've seen Mason play, I've seen Dunn play, and I've seen Duck play. I can tell you one thing, Duck definitely looked ahead of his time. He looked like he had some experience behind what he was doing. Never looked like a rookie out there from what I could see. And everything looks good. I think we're going to have a positive end of the year. But I'll let you hang up and listen to what you got to say. Man,
I definitely appreciate your call, man. And I love hearing the perspective of people who were at the game. And yeah, that's one thing I'll definitely say about Duck too. Duck is stepping up to the plate. Duck ain't looking lost out there. He's a rookie. He's a quarterback. He's having some little mental lapses. Drifting sometimes, but it happens to everybody. But Duck is the same thing I said about Mason Rudolph early in the season when I was like, he shows moxie and poise. Duck starting to show poise. Think about that last drive. Getting outside of the pocket, looking downfield, finding Johnson. Like, Duck doing all right, man. Round of applause for Duck. And that's why I want people to understand that I'm not saying that Duck isn't it in terms of just saying, he's not the guy. He's the reason why our offense is not. No, I'm just saying I don't trust our offense as a whole right now because I don't see that cohesiveness or that consistency, I guess I should say. I'm not seeing it yet. But, if we can continue to develop it a little bit, maybe we'll be all right. Now, by mistake, guys, I said we only were taking 2 more calls. We're actually going to take 2 more now. We want to grab 443 since we couldn't hear him the first time. So we'll get him, and then we got 931 to end it out. All right, area code 443, Gold Drip. What you got for us, man?
What's up, Sim? I'll be quick. I just want to address your Super Bowl thing. I don't think we're going to win a playoff game, but I think it's possible if you think of the Broncos a couple years ago.
Oh, yeah.
When Peyton was going out bad and they just rolled the defense all the way through. I don't think it's going to happen, but I think it's possible. And the fake punt, Barry said after the game that it was called a fake punt, but someone did, but they all called out of it. But there was a miscommunication. He didn't know that it was called after it was called off, so that's why everyone on the return was running back. And the Bills, I watched the Bills game earlier. Allen is garbage. He's horrible.
Oh yeah, I watched that game too.
But yeah, he took 4 unnecessary sacks he didn't have to take. But the Bills' defense is real. And when it comes to the Bud Dupree thing, last thing I'm going to say, I'm going to leave it up to Colburn and the staff what they want. If they want to pay Hargrave or Dupree, they've earned my trust at this point. I don't know what I would do in that situation, but I just think whatever will happen will be the best option for us.
Absolutely, man. Appreciate it, Gold Drip. Glad we were able to get you in here, man. You made some great points there. I watched that game, too. Allen didn't look too good against them Ravens. I know that much. He didn't. And it was a tight game, and so, the Bills' defense, we'll see what our offense can do against them. But I think looking at them, it's a winnable game, perhaps. I think our defense can clamp them down. But, yeah, man, the whole Hargrave and Dupree situation, it's going to be tough. I think you might have to go with Dupree right now. I think he offers a little more in terms of splash. And I'm splitting hairs here because I love Hargrave. But I think if it's up to me, you got to keep them edge rushers together. You have to. And I see some of you guys trashing Edmonds, man. Let Edmonds be, man. He's really not necessarily a playmaker, but Edmonds has been doing okay. His tackling has been pretty solid. And again, he missed time to jump today, but again, that's the difference between him and Minkah Fitzpatrick. It is what it is, guys. Again, as Steelers fans, we're not going to get everything. I was telling that to my father-in-law today. What's up, Lennon? I know he's watching. Not just be joking around, but it's like we ain't going to get everything. We're not going to have the best receiver, the best running back, the best quarterback, the best D-line, the best O-line, the best secondary. Come on, guys. Let's stop. We can't be so biased. Maybe Edmonds ain't the guy, and so be it. You draft until you find another strong safety that's good. So don't be so harsh on the team, man. We're not going to be great and golden at every single play, every position, every third down conversion. We're not going to score 50 points every game. It's just, come on. Let's be a little realistic, man. All right? Edmonds is all right. He's playing okay alongside Minkah Fitzpatrick. All right? We're going to end it here, man, with area code 931, which is Rough House Boxing. Man, what you got for us tonight?
What's going on, sir, man? Reporting to you live from a planet called Clarksville, Tennessee. It's your boy, Rough House. What's going on with you, bro?
Nothing much, man. Just sitting here not believing where we at, but we here.
Yeah. Hey, what we say? Hey, ugly dollar spend too. That's what's up, man. We'll take it. Let's go.
Right.
Hey, check this out, man. Hey, there was a building, and it was on fire. I ran up the stairs as fast as I could, kicked open the apartment door, and to my surprise, it was too late. 334 had jumped out the window already with the baby in his hand. No parachute or nothing. You know what I'm saying? Hey, it is what it is, man. Hey, I'm taking Duck game by game. I'm trying to keep my expectations realistic.
Mm-hmm.
Now I gotta give him props. One of the things that I noticed about him in comparison to Mason Rudolph is that as well as moving the ball from the 20 to the 20, he does do a pretty decent job in the red zone. When Mason got in the red zone, he just fizzled out. Just, it was always settling for 3 instead of 7, seemed like, man. But Duck showed that he can get the ball in the end zone, man. So I give him props for that, man.
Yeah.
And I want to take this time and present the award for best punter in a decapitation scene goes to Jordan Berry. Man, he got lit up. And why was that not why was that not called as a hit to the helmet? Because when they hit him directly in the face mask.
Yeah.
With the it's supposed to be you don't hit him to the head and neck area. Man, they hit him right in the face mask and his helmet popped off. I thought they killed that boy, man. But hey, and the grown man award goes to Deontay Johnson. That boy showed up this week, man.
Yes, he did.
He did his thing. He did his thing, man. So shout out to him, man. Y'all already know. Make sure y'all subscribe to the homie Sim, man. If y'all not subscribed to Sim, you're slipping on your pimping, man. Slap yourself with 2 handfuls of gravel. You know what I'm saying? Rub it in your cheeks. You know what I'm saying? But y'all make sure y'all tap that bell icon. Get them good notifications when we put out that work, that content, man. Y'all already know what it is. I am that boy Box. This is Rough House Boxing TV. Y'all make sure y'all stop by the house. Just remember to wipe your feet and close the door behind you, man. And Anthony Joshua beat Ruiz this weekend by unanimous decision. But he kind of looked trash to me. But that's what's up. I'm out.
Rough House, man. I appreciate it, man. Always dropping that good news on us. And yeah, I love the line, man, when you said you tried to get upstairs, but 334 had jumped out the window. Yeah, man. And guys, I know y'all know it's all fun and games here. We have a good time here. It's not a blame game. We all gonna have different opinions. It's great. This is what I love about what we do here, man. But yeah, Deontay Johnson is a grown man. My man is the maturation is happening right before our eyes, and I love it. That him being a 2nd round pick is it's starting to come to fruition. It's great. So, all right, man, we'll move on, guys. We'll read a few comments here, and I just wanted to say a couple things. I wanted to comment on what my man Drip said. I forgot right after he got off the call. Let me take the headset off. Barry basically said it was a fake, and then we called out of it, and he missed the call. Great. And remember, the commentators don't always know what's happening either, but remember what they said during the game. He was like, if you look at how everybody else is reacting, it doesn't appear to be a fake. So that's why I say, this is just my personal thing. I don't jump out the window when something happens. I like to hear the explanation first. And it also further lets us know Mike Tomlin is a man of integrity, and he just takes it upon himself. He didn't say there was miscommunication. Maybe he did later in the press conference. But the first part that I heard, because I only listened to that point, then I started watching the Chiefs game again. When he said, look, this is what happened. It was on me, blah, 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 and that was it. He's taking the cover for it. Regardless of what happened, and my man Gold Drip said it, Barry said, look, this is what happened. I missed the call, blah, blah, blah. There you have it. So it wasn't just as blatantly stupid as we thought, but it still was a blunder. Horrible, 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 horrible situation. And last thing I would say about Mike Tomlin, here we are once again. Very worse. He'll be 8-8. And I know that doesn't have a lot of merit to some people, but how we're going to end up with this season without having a losing season is beyond me. So at this point, I think we have already achieved enough. Because expectations, I told y'all weeks ago, I didn't have any more. Never thought we'd be sitting here 3 games over 500 with the opportunity to possibly make the playoff. So even if we go 8-8, I still would say, wow, I never thought that team, when Ben Roethlisberger went down, no Antonio Brown, Juju Smith-Schuster has been down 3 weeks. James Conner has been out and constantly hurt. Stephon Tuitt goes down. The defense hasn't missed a beat. You got to give the man his credit for what he's doing as a coach this year. It is what it is. All right, man, let me look at a few of the comments here, and then we'll get out of here, man. We'll spend about 3 or 4 minutes. Then I got to go. What y'all got? Kenyon said, BSG, you didn't have to look that stat up. Just watch the games. What y'all talking about? I'm sure it has something to do with, let me see. He says, Hargrave, according to the stats, only plays 25% of the defense snaps versus Bud that plays 95% of the snaps. Money goes to Bud. Yeah, and that is true what both of you guys are saying. Again, and I meant to say that, so Kenyon, I'm glad you actually responded to that, and I'm glad, BSG, you put that out there. I meant to say that when I gave my answer on who you signed. You got to look at the way the defense is played. Okay, the traditional nose guard, so to speak, we don't use as much. So if you're going to choose who you're going to sign, it's going to have to go to Bud Dupree, in my opinion. You'll find another rotational piece. Maybe you get Billings on the cheap, or not the cheap, but something you can afford, and you just roll with those punches. I don't know. Or you draft a guy. Or you try to work bugs into that. I don't know. But either way, I think because of the way we play more sub-package football and how we're utilizing that personnel, it's going to make more sense if we sign either one of those guys that is Bud Dupree. What else y'all got? Why Diggy says, personally, I don't think Randy Fiedner needs to open it up for Duck more. It seems like Randy's living in his fears in some points and overthinking things at other points. Yeah, I believe that. You know, I would love to see more of what we saw last week. And I don't know if that just fit the mold of what we needed to do against Cleveland. But I would like to see more shots because I don't think we really saw any real shots down the field today. But I'm going to be honest with you, though. I'm not afraid of how the game was played today. I think Duck did a great job. You know, even when the play broke down, I think today Duck played within rhythm, improvised, ran the ball when he needed to. Short passes here, went a little bit down the field, not anything deep. I'm not too mad about how that game plan worked today against this team. Now, maybe we need to open that thing up against somebody else, but I'm not mad at how we played today for the most part. And let me say this, too. For you guys, you know, for the one guy that always comes in here and talk about Dobbs, you going to tell me that you won't prefer Duck over Dobbs? That can also run out of the pocket if he needs to and move the chain with his legs and is making more plays? We never seen Dobbs do that. Now, to his credit, Dobbs hasn't played as long or had as many opportunities as what Hodges has in the real setting, but we never even seen that consistency from Dobbs in the preseason. And in the game that we needed him to finish for was in Oakland. He's inaccurate and all that. Come on, man. I think that ship probably has sailed. But where we are right now, I think Duck is the right one for the job today. Banor Johnson says, we need the Titans to lose so that losing against the Bills will have us keep us in that playoff spot. Jets I see as a dub. Ravens will probably start RG3. Yeah, we might be in a good spot against the Ravens again, you know, if they clearly have the number 1 seed. So I keep forgetting that. But also, you know, the Titans, you know, we can't really worry about what's happening, you know, on the outside. You know, I do kind of scoreboard watch at times, but at this point, the Steelers, you know, they control their own fate. I think if the Steelers can, at this point now, instead of me saying 3-1, they can go 2-1 in these next 3 games, I think we're in. That's just how I feel. If you can take care of that business, I think no question you're in there. And I think there's a possibility of getting there at 9-7 because I think the Titans will lose another game or 2. They got Houston twice. You know, even though Tannehill is playing good ball, I think there's a chance of them losing once or twice. So I think we might be in a good spot. We got to at least get to the 9th win, though, at very, very worst. Very worst. All right, a few more. Let me see who else. I probably missed a good amount of you guys. Lewis D says, if Tomlin has called some defensive plays, is it possible that Butler won't be back with the Steelers next year? I think that's very possible, Louis. I do. Because I think Butler's contract is up at the end of the season anyway. And, you know, again, Steelers don't traditionally fire people, but they don't renew your contract. So I think we might see that happen with Butler. However, here's reason to pause. The defense has played outstanding. So if Butler is still in the mix, in the way they're playing right now, Don't be surprised if he's brought back. But I could probably see a situation where he moves back to just being primarily with the linebackers, and Tomlin and Terrell Austin, will continue to work with the defense as well as Tom Bradley. It's a group effort there, so we'll see. Kenneth McNair says Johnson's route running might be the best. Yeah, he had that in college, man. He had that in college. He looked very good doing it. And yeah, Steve Sims just says the Titans also have to play the Saints, so that ain't gonna be an easy win. So I'm not gonna worry about too much about that. Janice Blake says we will win the rest of our games. We can definitely beat the Ravens. Oh, you talking crazy now? Slow down. What about our team? What we've seen offensively? I'm not talking about just our defense, because the defense is going to give up plays. Let's not act like we're going to shut everybody down. What on our team offensively on a consistent basis makes you think that we're just going to beat the Ravens in Baltimore? I mean, I'm not saying it can't happen. We did play them tight, but it was week 5. Let's not look past that. It was week 5. We had a good game. We had an opportunity to win the game, yes, but it was week 5. But furthermore, what just makes you think that we're definitely going to win? Like, definitely going to win is not my thought process for any of the remaining games. It won't even that today for me. That's just me. All right, 2 more. True for All says, I think we need to keep Butler, but I think we should move Fiedner back to quarterback coach, and we need to go out and find a new OC. I'm going to tell you something that I wouldn't mind. Some of these young guys, some of the young minds, man, I love the way Shanahan runs his offense. Just some of those plays, the way they look the same at the line of scrimmage, but so many things are coming off of them. The way they run play action. The way, one of them play actions they ran last week with Kittle. And even today, man, how, they make it look one way in one play and they line up the same way the next play and then they do something totally different. They scheme guys open. I would love a more younger, one of these aggressive, offensive-minded, like, one of the new age guys. I would love that in Pittsburgh, with some of the young talent I think that we're seeing develop right before our eyes. It would be great. But we'll see. Last one. Last 2. Relfax says, even though Harbaugh may still want to ruin our season anyway. Yeah, that's possible. And then the Pokemon says, don't see us beating those high offensive teams. We just can't keep up. And our D can't stop those teams every time. That's it. That's my whole point. We can't stop them every time. It ain't going to happen. You know what I mean? Hold on. Kenya just said something. Appreciate Jose Eduardo Rivero. He said somebody called me a bandwagon. Let me see who did it. Y'all pointed to me. Tell me who did it so I can address them. Are they calling me a bandwagon fan, or what? What angle are they taking of the bandwagon? This is hilarious. I'm just curious to know the approach. Wow, Janice says she's been still a fan for 60 years. Woo! Who said it, man? Y'all point me in their direction, man. I just want to have some fun with it, and then I'll get out of here. Kenya, do you know who said it? And what were they saying? Were they saying I'm a bandwagon fan, or am I a bandwagon to a certain player, or what? What they talking about? Oh, I'm on Ducks bandwagon. Wow. But here's the funny thing. Oh, Marcus Jones says I said it. How am I, you know what, I'm not even going to respond to it. It makes no sense, because clearly you don't listen to what I say. Every week I've come on here, and I said I wasn't going to respond, but now I'm responding. Every week I have said consistently the same thing. I said Duck is not the savior. I just said here tonight. Tonight I said. His stats ain't it. He's managing the game. And I'm giving him credit for the things that he does well. I gave him credit for the reason why I said I would start him over Mason Rudolph as I got a chance to see him play. I pointed out what I liked about him, and I point out what I don't like about him. And I still think that Duck Hodges is not this savior. He's doing a better job than Mason Rudolph. He's showing some flash. He can run. We all knew that. He's extending the play. I like the way he's playing. I love the throw he made to Deontay Johnson tonight in the end zone. But for you to be, oh, he's a duck, I don't understand the bandwagon thing. I'm very consistent in what I say. I don't get it. I don't, but I understand that people like to create narratives, so you can have that. But I'm fully thrown off by, oh, now you, like, for instance, let's say that somebody was a bandwagon fan of Duck Hodges. So, does that matter? If somebody was like, oh, I like him now, so what? So your whole point is I don't know. You can have it though. But anyway, guys, let's get out. Yeah, like Tomlin says, like Luis just says, he doesn't kill us. You know what I mean? And they said game management is more than stats. I know this, but guys, you guys are crazy sometimes. Do y'all understand what I'm saying? Duck Hodges is just managing the game, which means he's not a phenomenal quarterback. Can we agree to that? Not yet, but I'm willing to see where he goes. I would love to be a fan of Duck Hodges wholeheartedly. But I'm just saying, I mean, if anybody is saying in this chat, and again, your opinion is yours, mine is mine, but I'm gonna sternly say my opinion here. If anybody watching this show or in this chat is saying that Duck Hodges is the most amazing quarterback for the Pittsburgh Steelers, you have bumped your head. Duck Hodges is doing a great job at keeping us in the game when we need to get a few wins. He hasn't even been the best game manager at all times. So if you're trying to pull that thing about Duck Hodges, come on, son. I mean, come on. Duck is not killing us. That's it. But that's all. You know what I mean? He's doing what he's supposed to do as a backup to Ben Roethlisberger. Do I think Duck Hodges is the franchise quarterback? No. I can't say that yet. Let's see more. That's all I'm saying. Whether that calls me bandwagon or not, I hope you understand what I'm trying to say here. And if you don't, okay, let's agree to disagree. But anyway, let's get out of here, man. Let's get out of here. You guys, great show tonight. And I like when you rile me up. I like having fun. It's all love. It's all family. You know, if we disagree, we disagree. You know, and I know, here's a funny thing, though, guys. I know some people take it personally. I don't. This is fun. This is fun. So, anyway, before you go, if you haven't already, make sure you subscribe. Do this right here. See that? Very easy. Hit the like button. Hit the subscribe. Excuse me. And hit the notification button. Do yourself a favor and subscribe. And thank you for those who did subscribe already. Last but not least, if you would like to donate to the cause, if you've done so already and I've missed it, I apologize, but thank you. All right, if you've done it in the chat or if you want to do it during live chat, you click the $ in the bottom right corner. Thank you very much in advance. Outside of that, if you prefer to do it outside of YouTube, there's Cash App, there's PayPal. That information is in the description. And I will thank you in advance if you should decide to do so. All right? But outside of that, I'm gone. I ain't got nothing else to say. We 8-5. See you guys on Tuesday for you newcomers who subscribe tonight. We'll see you on Tuesday for Terrible Towel Tuesday, 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time. What we do on that show is we show film of the most recent game, and we also talk a little bit about the upcoming opponent. And thank you to Christopher Weezer for just subscribing there. But yes, that's what we do on Tuesday, so make sure you guys head back on Tuesday at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time. As you heard tonight, I'll allow phone calls, so guys, why don't you call? Let's call and talk. You know, instead of typing so much, let's hear your voice. But all right, man, I'm out of here. I'll go watch this Seahawks game, which they're losing. That's crazy. The Rams look like they're perking up. But outside of that, man, you guys have a great night. Have a great start to your week. Don't dread Monday. It's just another day for you to be great. All right, catch you guys later. I thank you for tuning in to the Terrible Towel post-game show, and I'm out. Peace.